went and had a bit of a walk around and talked to some of the people who were still there. And there was one family, and I kid you not, all three of them were just in tears. And I said to them, why are you so sort of moved by it? And they just said what an incredible monarch the Queen was. And also the sort of father said to me, it reminds me so much of when Diana died. And I thought that was quite interesting because there was this sort of a collective mourning when Diana died. And I think, again, this is people coming together. And that really, really, really struck me when you had thousands of people watching a service, as Cameron was very much saying just then, with great dignity, looking straight at the screens. There was people, you could have heard a pin drop, and then the beautiful music from the service. And I have to say, for me, that was something that will really stay with me and was the most emotionally moved really I've been since the Queen died, because this stunning choral music just lifted round it was just reverberated round the park as thousands of people watched it. It really was quite an incredible experience to have everybody come together in that way to watch it together. I was asking some people in the crowds about why they had come to London and travelled specifically to come and watch the service here in Hyde Park, and this is what they had to say.
It's important to come to feel a part of it all and to pay respect more than anything, because she's just a great person who's been there all my life, never known anything else other than a queen, and I think she just portrays all we should be, really.
The Queen is our Queen, and this is the last chance we'll get to obviously respect her. That's it.
It's just such a momentous occasion, and the Queen has been such a faithful servant of our country. It's nice to come and mark the occasion.
I think the Queen has done an amazing job during her lifetime. She's worked very hard, and I wanted to be here today.
We've come from Ramsgate this morning. It was just really, really important for myself to be here, to be as close to it all as possible, especially because Penelope's 16 months old, and it's just a time in history, and I want to be able to tell her when she's older that we were both here.
Alice. Well, there you go, a time in history, and I think that really says it all there. And I think we were expecting similar crowds to come on Monday as well for the funeral. Yes, there are people who already live in London, but there are so many people I spoke to who are going to be travelling down over the weekend, who are desperate to be here on Monday to watch the funeral, whether they'll be able to get a good spot down along near Westminster Hall, or whether they'll be able to come to a screening, because again, here in Hyde Park, there's going to be these 3 screens will be kept to allow people to again come together and watch the service themselves.
Alice, could I just ask you, the people that you spoke to, were they in Hyde Park because they couldn't secure a spot at the side of the procession on the Mall?
I think that was the majority of people I spoke to, that was the case. I think a lot of them had tried to go down to the Mall, hadn't been able to secure a place, and so then they had come up here to Hyde Park. But then there were also other people who perhaps worked nearby who had sort of seen the crowd sort of coming and then were able to join. But I think a lot of people had wanted to get down to the Mall, hadn't been able to, as you say, but hadn't been able to. So it's been a really important facility, really, because it's very difficult in those crowds, particularly with lots of different barriers. It can be quite difficult for people to get a good spot. So actually to be able to have this as very accessible for the public has been really important.